Okay, Anna and I are popping in really fast at the top of this show.
Yeah.
Because there's been a bit of confusion.
Yes.
Anna, people think that we will be at KetoCon in April. We've seen a lot of that.
A lot of people have been asking.
Okay, now
and
I've
had
one,
to say, not that I'm aware. First of all, I didn't even know it was in April.
I knew that.
Just found that out.
I knew that KetoCon was coming up in April.
Okay,
but
you're more with it than I am.
No one invited me. Have you been invited?
No.
Okay, so we've not been invited to KetoCon, so
no,
we won't be there.
No.
So, folks, if you're buying tickets because you want to meet Anna and watch her cook or whatever, or for whatever odd reason you want to see me walk around the stage and yell.
You give a good speech, sir.
Oh, you're too kind.
And yell.
Yeah, I yell a lot. At any rate, no, we've not been invited. Just to clear that up, for some reason, there's whole groups of people that are now saying they can't wait to meet us at KetoCon. We will not be there. We're not upset with
everything's fine. But we just want to be really clear.
Yeah, Robin is a great woman, and we want that show to be a success. By all means, go. But we just won't be there because no one has asked us to be there. So,
should we admit that publicly?
I guess people don't want to see us. All right, so now on with the show.
Okay.
The recording is in progress, Anna.
Recording in progress.
When you hear that on the show, that means, I've said this before, it's the most perplexing thing in the world. If I put music on this podcast that's on YouTube, if I add music to it, YouTube will dock me. They will take it off. And even though it's a free show, we don't charge for the show on YouTube. We don't add advertising to it or anything else. YouTube looks at that as some kind of infraction. Here's the thing. That song that you guys heard at the beginning, the people that listened to it on the regular thing, the Apple or wherever you Stitcher or wherever.
Yeah.
I took it off of YouTube. So the same place that says it's illegal to play music, I got that music from that place and didn't pay for it. See, that's the confusion.
But maybe the person who put it up has the rights to it.
No, because you could find it 20 or 30 or 40 different times.
Oh,
you could find it over and over and over in
Yeah.
every form that you could probably find Enya singing that song if you just look long enough.
I am on the highway to hell.
Some sitar in the background. How did Enya? I always knew back in the 90s when I was going to get laid because I would go to a chick's house and yeah, they had the Enya on. It was like, oh yeah. I'm still like Pavlov's dog. I hear Enya on the radio.
Yeah, you get a boner.
I'm not kidding. I get erect. I do. It's like it was I'm Pavlov's dog when I hear Enya.
Amazing.
Yeah. That's just the way it goes.
You're red. You have to watch the YouTube so you can see how red.
Yeah, I turn red when
you're matching your hat.
Yeah. No, but you see, look, when
you're matching the hat.
Watch this. When I turn the light up, I turn different colors. There we go.
No, you were definitely turning red on that comment.
All right. So, Anna, all right, I'm going to start with the good news first.
Great.
I turned 60 years old back in September.
Happy birthday to you.
Sing it like Enya.
Happy birthday to you, Vincent Tortorich. It was your birthday. That's the only Enya song I know is that one.
I think it was the only one that ever.
That's all you needed, apparently.
It was just that,
that one song.
You singing "Happy Birthday" to me and Enya.
Oh God!
I'm about I'm at half mast right now.
Oh no!
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's some blood. Okay. When I turned 50, Serena says to me, I got you one of these colonoscopies set up.
When you turned 50?
When I turned 50.
Okay. It's 10 years ago.
Yeah. So as fate would have it, I was busy, running late, every excuse everyone has. I turned 55. Serena goes, you still haven't had the colonoscopy. I have doctor friends. I was still living in LA. I had doctor friends. And they're like, well, you need to come
I
in.
can't believe it's so easy. I can't believe you just do it.
It was the inconvenience of, I got to evacuate all the, it was, I'm not like, I don't care about pain. I went through chemo. I went through a PICC line being shoved in. I've broken every bone in my body. I'm not a baby. It was just never, every time. As a matter of fact, I had one on the books a couple of times and legit things happened to where I couldn't do it. Right. Like, hey, we're going to pay you $10,000 to go talk to a group in, Peoria. I'm not going to pass up. I can't, that's how I make my living.
Right.
Right. So whatever happened, here I am, and I'm 60, and I was watching a thing on one of my heroes, Coach Vince Lombardi, and I knew that he had died of colon cancer. And during the thing, they said, Coach Lombardi would have lived a long life had he gone in and had a colonoscopy, and they would have found the cancer early, because they say colon cancer is one of the most curable diseases out there.
Is it really?
If you catch it early.
If you catch it early.
You got to catch it early. You can't wait for it to get through the wall of the thing and get into the lymph nodes and everything else.
Right.
And then by then it's too late. So I'm watching this documentary, and I was like, wow, one of the man who I've tried to emulate, model my life after, the man who said things like, winning isn't a sometimes thing, it's an all the time thing. You don't try to win once in a while, you try to win all of the time. And the man who said, nobody is perfect, but if you strive for perfection, you'll land somewhere near excellence.
Right.
Yep. I live by those things. I try my best at everything.
That's why I'm shocked that you didn't go do it.
And
honestly.
I'm watching this, and I went, wow. And I went upstairs and set up an appointment, and they said, come in 3 months. And that 3 months was the other day.
Right.
Okay. Several things I want to say about this, Anna.
Okay.
A lot. So sit back, enjoy.
I mean, listen, I just went through it last year, so you're going to be preaching to the choir.
First off, I had the thing where you take one bottle and you put it with 16 ounces of water and you drink it down. Everybody's like, oh, no, people get it. It's not that bad. I don't understand what everyone's talking about with, oh, I couldn't choke it down. It's 16 ounces of total liquid with the water diluting the whatever the stuff is. It was magnesium sulfate and 2 or 3 sulfates, right? And then you have to just, within the next hour, gut down another 32 ounces of water. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
You start pooping it out, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, this, folks, I don't mean this is not to be gross or anything else. I was pretty cleared out pretty fast because I don't have any fiber. I don't have any bulk in my system.
Right.
So the first couple of times, I went to the bathroom once or twice, and it was like doing a normal bathroom at the end. It was kind of the squirts. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then after that, I was just passing. They said, by
it's
the
just
end
the liquid
of the
running
evening,
through you.
It was just a liquid running through me.
I didn't know that was because of fiber. I was like, oh, I guess I don't have as much in my system as I thought. But that's what happened to me too.
All the bulk. Right. So I was pretty cleared out pretty quickly. Now you got to do the same procedure the next day, but here's what I noticed. Right. Me, I looked at my watch when I drank the stuff. It was 5 o'clock, and at 11:30 was the last time I went to the bathroom. It just kept coming out of me because I kept drinking water with my electrolytes in it.
Your own electrolytes.
My own electrolytes, my ultra salt.
Because they tell you to have Gatorade, and you're like, okay.
Right. And I even did an Instagram about that. It was like, they tell you to have Gatorade. No, I just kept drinking my ultra salt. So all of that was going through me. Knowing that, and knowing that I had to do the same thing the next morning, they told me, 5 hours before you come in. I got up at 3:30 because I saw how long it took me to clear everything the first time. I got up really early and cleared it out again. I didn't want any complications. By the way, on day 2, there was nothing in me. I
nothing.
I didn't have to take it. I was already clean. right? There's no,
Well, here's what I did at 4 a.m. before, because they say take it at 5 a.m. because my appointment was 9 or 9:30 or whatever.
right.
I did a shot of espresso at 4 a.m., which is nothing.
Oh, the only thing I had, and by the
But
way,
I was like, I'm having coffee. They have to know.
I
this.
did have, they told me I can have coffee.
Okay,
I
good.
asked, I said, can I have coffee? They said, yeah, just don't put cream or anything.
Yeah.
So I had a coffee that morning in between going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Gave me something to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And
You're like,
and by
it's
the
my
way,
morning meal.
I started fasting the day before, so I was already cleaned out. You know, I decided just to do a fast. I'm not a faster, but when you eat this way, you could just live on your own body's fat for forever.
It's true.
So all of that was fine. I weighed myself at the beginning because I wanted to make sure I was keeping my water level up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about this because of the comments I saw on Instagram. I weighed 3 pounds less right before I went in to get my colonoscopy than I did at the beginning. 3 pounds.
Okay.
All right. And I'm saying that for a reason. Let me plug my phone.
Is that because you hydrated and
I kept myself hydrated.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of people get dehydrated.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to see if I can play this. Let me turn some of these levels up. See if I can find it. I wasn't planning on playing, but I'm going to play it. Here we go. All right, here we go, Anna.
Okay.
Vegan folklore. When John Wayne died, they found upwards of 40 pounds of beef stuck in his intestines. This lie is so prevalent that when you Google it, it comes up right at the top. The fact of the matter is, if you had even 1 pound of anything stuck in your intestine, they would have to do surgery because of the amount of pain you would be in. By comparison, I've eaten at least a pound of beef every day for the past 25 or so years. Yesterday, I had a colonoscopy. So by definition, I should have had at least half of what John Wayne had, right? Well, in fact, I had 0 beef or anything stuck in my intestines. On top of that, I had no cancer and no polyps. Stay motivated. Okay. That was the Instagram thing. And I have over 100 comments, most of them saying, oh, I'm so glad.
Right.
Some of them was.
And then other people like, you should die. Like, what?
Okay. Some of the vegans were like, yes, they did find 40 pounds and, you know, which is.
How is that possible?
It's not.
Guys.
Think of the insanity of that. The insanity that they think somehow beef gets stuck in your gut. Just the insanity. And I asked the doctor.
You're basically saying your body's stupid when your body's actually really smart.
And I called the doctor, a friend of mine, and I said, okay, if someone had any kind of matter stuck in their colon, she goes, oh, like 1 pound you would be passed out, doubled over in pain, and we would have to do surgery to get it out. 1 pound. They were saying John Wayne had 40 pounds. This is a vegan lie.
I've heard it for years since I was in my 20s.
Oh yeah, it's as prevalent as Richard Gere with the gerbil in his ass and Rod Stewart with the cum in his stomach. I mean, it's the same kind of, you know, just folklore. So that never happened. And of course, some of the comments were, well, of course you didn't have 40 because you know, when you cleared your intestines, you cleared probably 25 pounds of I'm like,
no.
Are you insane?
No.
Are you insane?
No.
Because most people most people have between 5 and 25 pounds of fecal matter. Okay. Where was my 25 pounds? Because even with all the evacuation, I only lost 3 pounds, which was probably all dehydration.
Which is it, vegans? Is it undigested meat or is it 25 pounds of fecal matter? Because those are two very different things, number one. Number two, if you had fecal matter trapped in your body, it would be a matter of days before you would be poisoned and you would die.
And then some of them said, well, no, they only go through your large intestine. This is in your small intestine. You know, they can't let
in your small intestine. That's even worse. You would die even faster.
They can't. And how would John Wayne even live? Because, you know, or anyone. Folks, do you see
guys.
the insanity of what we look at as being a truth on the internet? Everything you read on Google, think long and hard about it, because this is what we're dealing with. People, I went, look, this is what happened to me. And they're going, no, it didn't happen. Yeah, it's not possible. And by the way,
That's what happened to me.
no polyps,
No polyps,
no cancer,
no cancer.
no diverticulitis. This doctor.
You said it cute, like diverticulitis.
That's the way it's.
I didn't have diverticulitis, but
Right.
also I like diverticulitis.
Do you remember the skit, The Whiners, from the early days of
Wendy Weiner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jane
She
Curtin.
I have diverticulitis. That was always,
Okay, that's where we get diverticulitis from.
yeah.
Okay.
So at any rate, yeah, I learned how to speak from Saturday Night Live. Thank you, folks. I was living in a swamp. It was 1976.
Yeah, that was your lifeline.
Yeah. So no diverticulitis, no nothing. No nothing. Yeah. No cancer. No nothing. I'm 60 years old. On a slow day, I eat 4 or 5 eggs. Usually, if you said, Vin, you have to take a daily average, I would say 6, because some days it's 8. All right. On a slow day. 1 egg is supposed to somehow kill you. I eat cheese. I love cheese.
Yeah.
I eat nuts. Nuts are supposed to cause diverticulitis. I eat it all. I don't, look, folks, I don't eat processed crap.
You even have meat jewelry and
vegetables.
Vegetables inflame diverticulitis too.
Right.
I can't say it anymore. So thank you.
I have vegetables. I eat it. I eat meat. I eat it up. Tonight I'm having a big fillet. Big giant fillet. According to the, oh, and by the way, I asked the doctor, she was an Asian doctor, and they don't have, they're great doctors, but apparently the sense of humor doesn't carry over. So when she came in to show me, she was like, yeah, we just went there. You have nothing. And it almost seemed like was
she surprised?
She seemed a bit shocked. Like, he's 60. They usually find something
probably.
Yeah. There was, she was like, you have nothing. And I was like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I kind of figured that much. I figured I might have a polyp or two, because I don't even know what a polyp is. I'm told it's like a pimple that can become cancer. I don't really know what it is, but nothing. And I even asked the doctor, and this is the joke she didn't get. I go, hey, doc, when you had that camera up there, did you see any pus? And she was saying, what are you talking about? I said, anywhere in my body that you were scoping with that camera, any pus? You see any pus? She goes, no, what pus? Why would you have pus? I went, no reason, just asking. And she kind of gave me the furrowed brow. She was like, what are you talking about? Because every vegan doctor will say, if you eat eggs, if you eat meat, your body will, you will be full of pus. I'm still trying to figure out where this pus is. Now, I do think it might be under my fingernails, although I don't think so. I don't know where this pus, maybe in my hair. I don't know. Where is this pus they talk about? They talk about your body's full of pus.
It's hiding in your Vinnie Strathairn.
It's like, where's Waldo? I'm still looking for the pus. It hasn't.
I don't have it either.
Yeah. So that cleared up all. And
you could say it's different for women, but I've had the exact same experience where there's nothing doing in there. And I even was awake for mine and talked to him about it. And I was like, well, look at how clean and pink it is in there. He's like, yep, exactly how it's supposed to look. And I was like, well, I thought that, they always talk about how you have undigested food in there. He's like, and he was like confused. And he's like, you did the cleaning protocol, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, you're not going to have any undigested food just sitting in your body. Like it doesn't sit in your body. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. I just,
by the way,
somewhere in the back of my head, maybe that I thought there might be something wrong. He's like,
that was started by the people who do colonics. By the way, that's one of the other things I read on the internet, because I was trying to figure out who started the John Wayne rumor. And it was, a lot of things said it was the vegans. Some people said it was started by the colonics people, because colonics people, I've had some patchouli wearing chicks down from Venice Beach where all this happens, where I've asked them, like, hey, you give colonics. Oh yeah. Eh, what do you find in people? Oh, we find bubble gum that they, sometimes, change nickels, quarters. One of them told me they saw a little GI Joe, one of those little tiny plastic soldiers. It's like, come on. I asked the doctor, I said, you ever see little plastic soldiers in there? And I was like, no.
That is
They're
crazy.
completely cleared out. All
That's
of
crazy.
these wives' tales that you hear about what's in there is all started by wackadoo people. I'll never forget, there was something when I first moved to LA and everybody was doing it, Anna. You might remember it. They were doing ear waxing.
Ear candling.
Candling, yes.
Yes.
And they were like,
when it's basically just the wax from the candle that tricks you into thinking there's wax in your ear.
Right. And folks, they would put like a little cone. I've never had it done, but
I mean, either.
Like, yeah,
it kind of looks satisfying though. I kind of want to do it, but it'll probably mess up your ear.
They're saying, oh yeah, no, you understand. We put the wax and then we put a candle next to it, and somehow the heat draws all the wax out of your ear, and people are like, oh, you should have seen. Number one, you're supposed to
mean
have
the wax that came out of your ear was the wax that they put into your ear and then that came back out? Okay.
Folks, first off, you're supposed to have wax in your ears that protects it.
Right.
Just like you're supposed to have a certain amount of mucus in your nose that protects it. When dust gets in there, it gets caught on the hair and the mucus and everything else. That's all supposed to be there. You're not supposed to go to Venice Beach and have some fucking loser pull this stuff out of you.
I know, but it's almost like the pimple popping thing, like where you're like, you think it's going to be like, oh, we're going to get this gross substance out of my body.
Right.
So that I understand the impulse to want to do it, but it sounds very dangerous. There's a one that always comes up in my Facebook. I must click on all these things because I'm always like, what is that? And there's one, it's almost like a brush, like a cleaning brush. And I was like, you're not supposed to stick that in your ear. Are you kidding me?
You're not supposed to put anything in your ear. You should
barely put your Q-tip in there.
Ask any EENT and they will say, never, ever, ever put anything in your ear.
Yeah.
I mean, they tell you that in kindergarten, but apparently some people didn't get the memo.
Yeah.
Right. But, this goes on and on. So one of the other comments I saw several times, and I find this to be ignorant. I say a lot about doctors because there's a lot of bad doctors out there, but there are a lot of good doctors.
Yeah, of course.
But people are going, I can't believe you of all people would go and take that test. Yeah.
What?
That's called preventative medicine. Okay. If you have a problem, if you have polyps that can turn into cancer, let's go back to what we said at the beginning of this. Early detection is the key. Early detection.
By the way, we've never been anti-doctor. We're pro-doctor. The amount of diagnostic tools, surgical tools, life-saving. So I'm going to use this moment, Vinny, to digress for a second because one of our admins, I don't know if you heard about Eddie Fackler.
Yeah, I did.
I don't know when this is going to come out. I hope that he's all recovered and going home, but he's in a rough place right now. And in fact, I'm going to read this from his Caring Bridge page. So he's one of our admins in the group. He's one of our wonderful humans who helps Vinnie Tortorich, No Sugars, No Grains exist on the internet.
Yes. Good guy.
Great, amazing dude. He's lost a ton of weight with NSNG. He loves to do marathons and triathlons, and he's just, we love him. So it says here on his Caring Bridge, on Sunday afternoon, Ed collapsed while he was at the gym and was flown to Hershey Medical Center for open heart surgery. He suffered an aortic dissection, which is when a tear occurs in the inner layer of a weakened area of your aorta. Blood surges through the tear, causing the inner and middle layers to separate, dissect. As diverted blood flows between the tissue layers, the normal blood flow to parts of your body may be slowed or stopped. We are praising God the aorta did not rupture completely, as Ed wouldn't still be with us. After roughly 9 hours of surgery, 6.5-ish open heart, the rest with the vascular surgery team, Ed made it through. He has a very long road to recovery, and we will make updates to this page as we can let you all know about his progress. So I'm going to send this to Leona so she can put this Caring Bridge in the show notes so that people can get, because I'm sure by the time this comes out, there's going to be more updates. But here's the thing, you guys, we said this, I think on the last show that we recorded, NSNG is going to help you with chronic stuff, and it's going to help you recover when shit goes down. Okay. Yeah. It's not going to be like you never have to ever go to a doctor again. That's bonkers insanity. Of course you have to go to the doctor. We want you to get your blood work taken. We want you to get x-rays and colonoscopies and anything, CT calcium score tests and anything that's within the realm of possibility for us to be able to know as individuals where we are on the scale and what we need to address that's within our power. Absolutely. Please go get some answers on your body.
Anna, I always say, if it wasn't for doctors, I would not be here right now.
That's right.
I was stage 4 leukemia. I'm here because of doctors.
That's right.
If that wasn't enough warning, I have someone who's close to me. Called me about a week ago, and he said, this guy's dealt with Crohn's disease his whole life. Crohn's disease is first cousins to colitis and all this kind of stuff. It's pretty bad. He's had it his whole life, dealt with it. The fact that he's in his mid to late 50s, and he's not been on a colostomy bag for the rest of his life is pretty close to a miracle. He's kept it at bay with medication and trying to eat right and what have you. In between the last time he had a colonoscopy, which he gets them every 3 years, but he was in doing something else, and they figured out that he had colon cancer, and it's colorectal cancer. And we don't know what's going to happen yet, how bad it is, but the fact that they've caught it before it's stage 4, we don't know what stage it is, but they're pretty sure it's not stage 4. He's still going through tests. But had he not known that, it would have been, for sure, he would be dead in a couple of months. Now he's got a fighting chance.
Right.
Right. So don't be Vince Lombardi in that, and don't be my friend. Don't be that person. Right. Don't be, being ignorant is no way to go through life. And I don't think most people, I think people are ignorant to what the word ignorant means. Ignorant means exactly what it sounds like, to ignore facts. It doesn't mean you're dumb. It doesn't mean you're stupid.
Right.
The smartest people in the world are ignorant to certain things. I'm ignorant in a lot of, I'm pretty smart when it comes to a few things, and I have a certain degree of ignorance when it comes to a lot of things. Right.
Well, I think we all do.
And whenever I want to learn about something, I try to go learn when I can about it, to quell the ignorance. That's what that means. I'm no longer ignoring the truth.
Right.
I'm now going into it and finding out. I encourage everyone to do that, because in this world today, you have to be your own best advocate.
You do.
You need to advocate for yourself.
You do.
As, the hospital systems and everything else and the way they work. And I get it. In a lot of cases, things like colonoscopies could be outside of a budget, right? But if you can do it, do it. So that's all I'm going to say on that.
I got to say too, when you said Crohn's disease, 3 years ago, the Crohn's disease organization, whatever they're called, the ADA or the AHA, but for Crohn's disease, they contacted me and they wanted to buy 2,000 copies of my second book to give out to their members. And I was like, great. That feels like progress. And then I don't know what happened. They kind of ghosted, and I was like, this is a bummer. And it's not about the sale. It was about, I was excited to get my work into people who have autoimmune diseases of the gut. I have celiac and I have molecular colitis. And so I was like excited for the word to get out.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is going to help people. And then it didn't happen. So I'm really sorry. Crohn's disease is really rough too. If anybody out there is suffering with Crohn's disease, my heart goes out to you. And also too, I just want to say one more thing about Eddie Fackler. I just want to say, if you're the praying sort, please keep him in your thoughts.
And also, Eddie, whenever you're feeling better and you want to come on the show, we would like to bring you on to talk about
That's right.
Anna?
Yes.
PureVitaminClub.com right now for the month of February, 20% off with promo code Vinnie, VINNIE. Now listen, folks, I know what you're going to do. You're going to go, yeah, I got time to do it. No, you don't. Do it right now, because you see this orange hat I have on, Anna?
Yes, I'm Debbie's sending me one,
Okay.
and I'll wear it next time we record.
Do you know how many people have written to me privately or put something on Twitter or my Instagram going, "Oh my God, I forgot to order my hat. Can you get me one?" No, we order a specific number plus 7.
Right.
This time plus 8 because we had 2 hats, so they're sending me 4 of each color, the gray and the orange, because I'm the only one that has 4 extra, and I keep them for myself. Well, in this case, we're giving 1 to Anna because I sweat them up and I discard them and sweat up the next one and discard them. By then, I figure I'll make another hat.
Right.
The bottom line is, when it's gone, it's gone. So if you want to get yourself some ultra salt or stock up on vitamin D or anything else, we have the liposomal vitamin C, the fish oil. You want to bone up on some of the stuff, go right now. On March 1st, do not go, "Hey, I meant to, I forgot. Can you throw me the discount?" We cut it off because it's not fair to everyone else who figured out to go do it right away. 20% off right now at purevitaminclub.com. Get all the wonderful products. If you don't have a subscription, you could get a subscription. On the first delivery of that subscription is going to be 20% off, and then it goes back to the normal subscription price. So promo code Vinnie, VINNIE, 20% off right now at purevitaminclub.com. Best vitamins on the planet. Springtime is coming. Look, I take the ultra salt all winter long. I don't stop. It's in this bottle right now. I'm drinking from this 40-ounce bottle. I just break a bunch of them open and put them in there.
I love them.
I went through my whole procedure the other day with ultra salt and water. Never got a headache, never felt bad, nothing. As a matter of fact, Serena was driving me home because they make someone drive you home. And she was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Are you hungry?" I'm like, "No, not particularly." I didn't eat until that night. I didn't come home and go, "Oh my God, I got to eat right now."
Yeah.
I just kept drinking my ultra salt with the water and the whole thing. I was fine until dinner time.
Yep.
And I had my procedure at noontime. So that's the way those things work.
Look at Bonzo.
Yeah, but I don't know where Bonzo came from. I guess the door must be open. Bonzo,
He's wagging his butt.
Go get in your bed. Good boy. Or go upstairs or something. There you go.
He get in his bed. He a good boy.
Yeah. He likes to come down here because I keep the fireplace going all day. So anyway, Anna, I just wanted to bring up the whole colonoscopy thing. It's important to do these sort of things.
Absolutely.
I gave a ton of blood today. I go see my doctor tomorrow, my cancer check. I like to do everything in January. Well,
that's good.
This January was a little bunched up.
Use up that deductible the beginning of the year.
Well, not only that, but I need to get checked, because of my cancer and the whole thing.
How often do you get checked for the cancer?
Once a year. It used to be
they just draw blood and see what you're.
Yeah. There's a certain, they'll see if things are wrong with the blood. And so, once a year I go get everything done in January. Of course, it's February, 2nd or 3rd or 4th now when we're recording this.
Yep.
And the bottom line is I was in England for, the first 10 days of the year because of death in the family and everything. So everything got pushed back a bit.
Right.
So here we are. Folks, I encourage you to do that. And like Anna said, get that deductible out of the way. And, it's money well spent. And then you get free healthcare for the rest of the year. There you have it.
I have a quick question from the internet for you that I think, since we were talking about the Pure Vitamin Club discount.
Right.
Did you see this question from Kieran Volts? I think it was from Twitter.
Don't know.
And I don't know if you can answer this or not. I might be putting you on the spot.
No, put me on the spot.
Hey, at Vinnie Tortorich, how many milligrams of B12 should someone consume in a day? Whenever I go over 300 milligrams of B12 methylcobalamin, I get headaches. Maybe you and Anna Vocino could do an episode debunking bro science about caffeine, B12, and pre-workouts.
That should not cause a headache. Methylcobalamin is the better form.
It's the active form of it, right?
Well,
it'll metabolize.
Yeah. Well,
better.
Yeah. Are you getting a headache from that or the coffee? I mean, I've never heard of anyone getting a headache from methylcobalamin. By the way, folks, there's 2 types of B12, and whenever it's in the pill form is either cyanocobalamin or methylcobalamin. We use methylcobalamin at purevitamin.club.com because it's the better form. That does not sound normal. All right, let me answer this a different way. B12, I tell people, go, how do I know if I need B12 or extra B12?
Oh, that's a good question. How do you know?
Well, some people don't. It's metabolized in our small intestines. That's where it's pulled out of the meat, whatever, it comes from meat and fish and chicken and eggs and everything.
You mean
else.
the undigested meat that's sitting in our small intestines?
Yeah. It's just there, just bunching up.
That was a joke. Don't take that out of context.
It's absorbed in our small intestines, but some people just don't get it. It just doesn't, you don't get enough.
Right.
That's why we do sublingual, because if you took more in your stomach, it would just do what the other stuff is doing and just not do its job.
Malabsorption is real.
Yeah. So people always say to me, how do you know if you need it? Two ways. You can either, whenever you go get your blood work done, your insurance probably won't cover it. So you got to pay about 40 extra bucks. You can see if you're low. Or here's the cheaper way of doing it. If you notice, every time you put one of our little dots under your tongue and let it absorb for about 45 seconds to a minute, if you notice the little pick-me-up in the next 10 or 15 minutes, that means you were low. If you don't feel that pick-me-up, that means you were already leveled off, because your body won't supersaturate with it. It uses what it needs and it'll waste the rest. So that's just, but getting a headache from it, not normal.
Yeah.
Not normal at all. I would say that, more people get headaches from caffeine than methylcobalamin.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
At any rate, and we have a guest coming on today, right?
Do you want to go ahead and start sending her the thing, and I'm going to talk to people about Villa Capelli olive oil?
Yeah, let me see if I can figure out if I can find her here.
You guys, Villa Capelli olive oil is the best olive oil on the planet. Vinny uses it in his vitamin D because vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin. And why put it in a crappy oil when you can put it in delicious Villa Capelli olive oil and make it bioavailable? Don't we love things that are bioavailable, Vinny?
We do. I like every day I wake up and go, man, I wish I had some bioavailability going on like right now.
Oh, you do, my friend. You do.
That's what I want.
I use the Villa Capelli in my sauce, in the gravies that are available at eathappykitchen.com. Little plug. And they are really and truly, Villa Capelli is the best olive oil on the planet. If you haven't had a fancy olive oil or something directly from Italy, you will be surprised at how much flavor it has. It's not particularly olivey. It just has more pungence to it. And then you're going to taste your cheapo grocery store brands and be like, oh, that's when I say the words rancid and flabby, you're going to taste how rancid and flabby those crappy oils are, because they cut them. They cut them with the seed oils, and they're legally allowed to do that.
Worst morning drive time team ever, rancid and flaccid.
Flabby, rancid and flabby.
Did I say flaccid?
Yeah, you have penis on the mind.
I do.
He's turning red again. Oh, little Villa Capelli. See, it's happening. I can see it happening right now.
You see why I can't lie? Because I've never been able to lie. Like, I don't even try to lie. I just tell the truth.
I can't lie either. And I found that out from playing that game of Spy over Christmas a couple years ago with everybody there, and like one person's a spy. And whenever I was a spy, I was just like, I'm the spy. Like I couldn't keep it in.
I'm not that bad, but like
I am bad. I can't. I giggle too much. It's really,
if it's funny. Like a game or something, I can somehow pull it off.
I can't do it. I'm not. You don't want to be on my team. Villa Capelli olive oil is the best olive oil on the planet. You do want to be on their team. You guys go to villacapelli.com, do your shopping. Try to get stuff around like $130 to $140, because here's why. When you use the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE, you will get 10% off your order. Actually, maybe it needs to be more like $140 to $145, because then if you get 10% off your order and you still have over $125 in your order, you get free shipping, which is really important, because I know for a fact it ain't cheap to ship heavy things like sauce and olive oil. And they put their stuff in really nice packaging. So qualify for the free shipping. Use the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE, and you'll be very happy that you did.
And a 10% off of 140 is $14. So I put you at 126.
Oh my God. So that's the magic number.
Yeah.
So while we wait for Nicole to come on, I had a quick question for you that we were supposed to address a couple weeks ago, and then we never got around to it.
Okay.
I had a really bad sciatica injury, but I knew when I tried to stand up and do my weightlifting routine that you taught us how to do, it was making the sciatica worse. So I sat in a chair and I was at least able to do some raises, shoulder presses and some raises and things like that, and not hurt the sciatica. But I felt like, am I like an old lady who's doing chair workouts? And is it even effective if I'm not standing to lift the weights, or is it
kidding? I mean, I do most of my exercises. I do seated shoulder press all the time.
Well, I guess if you're on a machine and do it, I don't know why. I just felt like I was being lame if I.
No.
But that makes sense. If you're on a machine, you would be sitting down.
No, I do that all the time. I'm a big proponent of doing that. So
if you have a sciatica injury, that's no excuse to not do it.
Look, if you don't have a sciatica injury as you get older, you will. And
you just will. You just will.
Just protect your back the whole way through. Look, I'm gonna give you an example. Today, I did my bike for an hour, and then I did my rowing machine for 30 minutes, and then I did my paddle for 20 minutes. So that's an hour and 50 minutes.
You were catching up on some things.
Well, I got up really early, and I didn't have any. I did my social media stuff, and I didn't have any appointments for 2.5 hours. So I went, let me just do this, right? So I just went from one piece of equipment to the other, and that way I never got bored. So then I realized I did some, I worked for a few hours, and I realized it was leg day. But, between the rowing machine and the paddle really works on your obliques. And, I was on a bike for an hour. My legs were, and I went, okay, I'm just going to turn this into a push day and just do legs tomorrow.
Okay.
Because my back was feeling timid.
Okay. This is amazing to hear this, because I was wondering this exact same thing as well.
Okay. So I went to the gym in town. I wanted to get out of my office. And I said, okay, I'm just going to stretch. And I'm not saying I'm going to do anything. I'm just going to stretch. I spent 45 minutes straight. Now, folks, I get it. Most people don't have this kind of time. This is what I do for a living. Been doing this my whole life. So I stretched for 45. I did a good stretch. I mean, every yoga teacher in town would have been proud of me. And my back started buying in. It started feeling better. So then I did what I called an abbreviated, or I switched up. Now, normally I would do, squats, lunges with weight on my back, deadlift, all this kind of stuff. But I was feeling better. So what did I do? I started with leg curls, an exercise I generally never do. But I was able to do it without getting my back involved. After I did that, I did some quad extensions, again, leg exercise, keeping my back out of it. So then we have 2 different machines in my gym where I don't have to have my lower back involved. So I did calf raises on both of those. Right. Did a big time calf day, right? I hit calves every time. I don't hit them that hard, right? But I hit them hard today because I knew I wasn't doing much else.
I'm standing for a second. I can't.
Your camera went off, Anna.
I know. I turned it off.
Okay.
I'm still talking to you.
All right.
YouTube, you'll have to leave it to the imagination.
Yeah.
Let's talk about stretching. my back is hurting. I have to stretch.
All right. No, wait. Let me finish my routine here.
Okay. Great. So do it.
After I did that, we have one of those hip thrust machines where you don't have to use the Olympic bar across your, so I got on the hip thrust machine just to get my butt involved. Did that. That turned out okay. And then I went into some lunges, right? I just went and did, instead of putting weight on my back, I did 3 sets of 25 on each leg with the lunges. It's not the leg workout I would have preferred to do, but it's
But
the
at least you
leg
did
workout.
something.
Yeah, it was the leg workout I did because I felt like, let me get my legs in today. Everything was, and by the way, now I feel great.
I was
Now
going to say you did it. You were able to do even a little bit
I
because you
backed,
stretched.
it was more than a little bit. It was a completely different workout. I literally backed into a leg workout.
Yeah. But I'm saying the only reason you could do it is because you stopped. You just stretched for a while and then you're able to do it. But if you went straight from doing all that directly and your back was hurting, you would have hurt your back more. Yeah.
And again, folks, I get it. I get to do that because my work schedule, I put it together. As Anna knows, I'll be working until midnight tonight.
Right.
I can work whenever I want. So I just, I use my day to do that. And then I work at night when everyone else is watching television and doing whatever else. Right. So there, I mean, there's always a way around it is what I'm trying to say. And if I had thought about it beforehand, I probably wouldn't have done all the rowing and everything else to tweak my back to where I had to do that. I would have probably done it the other way around. I would have probably gone to the gym this morning, come home, just spin for an hour and call it a day.
Right.
But there's always a way that you can figure it out.
Well, I just sat down and did some exercises as best I could. And you know what? It felt like it was doing something, but I was also not, because I'm so used to like, I had a perfect form and I have to stand like a ballerina and do the things. You know what I mean? It's like,
Look, I get it. Sometimes I'm out chopping wood, right? And moving wood around to the different areas around the house. That takes a lot, for any age. Working, chopping up wood and moving it takes a lot.
It's a lot of work.
So you have to kind of stay on top of it. And so there. What else you got, Anna? It doesn't look like Nicole. Did we tell her there was a time she was supposed to come on?
I told her 7:30, and we usually run late, but she didn't know you and I started early today. We should have probably let her.
Oh, there she is. She just
great. Perfect. So because we're going to start a little consult here. Nicole.
Yeah,
I guess are we giving her last name? It'll probably be on her Zoom. There she is.
She's coming up. There's
Hello,
Nicole.
cutie pie.
How you doing, Nicole?
Just getting her audio going.
Yeah, you gotta accept something, Nicole.
Okay, I got it.
There you are. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
So Nicole, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
And we're gonna do a little consult with you today.
Perfect.
How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Thanks for coming on the show and making yourself vulnerable and doing it.
We'll make it like a real consult. I always ask people, how did you learn about us and find all this? And how did you come about this?
So I honestly don't remember. I remember being a part of the Facebook group for a good 6 months before I decided to jump in. But it was kind of my Hail Mary. I was like 6 weeks out from having a gastric bypass done. And I was like, well, let me try one more crazy diet.
Yeah. And then you found us.
Yeah.
Great. I love it. Good timing.
Right.
So Nicole, take us through the journey. When you found us, what was your weight, height, weight, age, and maybe tell us where you are now?
Yeah. So my heaviest I ever saw on like a doctor's office scale was like 305 pounds.
Right.
And sometimes I get caught up on like, oh man, the weight I've got to feels like where most people start, but I'm still really proud of that. I was 21 when I first went to the doctor. I had like stopped having menstrual cycles and I was like, what's going on? And I was 300 pounds. So, and then I got put on, I think it was like 6 different medications and was able to, with a weird cocktail of drugs, lose a little bit of weight. I tried Weight Watchers. I tried everything. Was able to get pregnant, had my second kiddo, and then
hang on, go back.
Yeah.
You were put on 6 drugs.
Yes.
Can you tell us who those drugs were?
Seems like a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So metformin, Lipitor, Victoza. There was something for GERD. I had a lot of medical health stuff going on. I was taking ibuprofen every day from just being in pain. There was Topamax for migraines. And I'm sure I'm missing one, but
yeah, that with Advil, that's 6. And I don't think people realize how how hard Advil is on the liver.
Yeah.
You know, and people just take it because it's over the counter. I
stomach.
don't think people realize just how rough that drug is. You know, that alone. And you were taking 3 different types of drugs for one problem, for diabetes. So that's
Yes, yeah, I had a diagnosis of PCOS.
Explain what PCOS is. People tell me about this all the time.
Yeah. When I first got the diagnosis, I did a lot of research, and it's polycystic ovarian syndrome. And basically it's a diagnosis by elimination. So you have to have a lot of check marks, and you have to be told it's not a lot of other things. And I had just enough check marks, basically. And the way my symptoms were presenting was that I had a really hard time losing weight. I was infertile at that point in time, and I was having these really horrific cystic acne popping up on my body. And I'm like, I would call them boils, but it was gross and it was bad.
Did they not do an ultrasound of your ovaries?
They
did they do that eventually?
They did that eventually, and it's weird. That's one of the only symptoms I didn't have.
Oh, you didn't have the little,
yeah. No pearls for me, but I was able to check enough other boxes that was the diagnosis.
Okay, so how long ago was that, Nicole?
Oh my gosh, probably 2013.
Okay, when did you find us?
2016 was when I found you, and then I committed in 2017.
Sounds like a Corolla fan. You listen to Corolla?
No, I've actually never listened to Corolla. I do listen to your podcast. I don't remember how I found you. I wish I did.
I know people sometimes they'll go, I don't know. And then halfway through the consult, they'll go, I was listening to the Marathon Academy podcast, and that's where I find like
maybe it was some random interview.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, usually it's a random interview because I didn't have any movies out back then. I had the book out. The book was a big deal. Who knows how maybe she was just looking for how to lose weight somewhere in here.
It could have been a Google. It could have been somebody that told me about it. I don't remember.
I'll tell Mike Rowe that you found us through him.
Sounds good.
Wait, let me interrupt for 1 second.
Sure.
For the PCOS, if anybody's out there listening, I do know that Dr. Sarah Gottfried, who's been on this show, has a book called The Hormone Cure, and she does have a pretty detailed quiz, a self-assessment quiz you can take at the beginning. Obviously, it's just to kind of see, to categorize what your symptoms are. And if Nicole had that book, she might have been able to be like, oh, wait, hold on. And she might have been able to help have a dialogue with her doctor before them. You know what I mean? So I just want to give a shout out to that book. I know Leona can put the link to The Hormone Cure. It might already be in your book club.
It's in my book club.
Yeah,
actually.
It's kind of a great thing to go, okay, these are the things
that doctor's kind of hot too. She is.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so Nicole, you find us around 2016. How much? And you're over 300 pounds at that point, and you're on 6 drugs, and you can't have a second baby. And then what happens?
So I had another baby, and she was born in 2015, and then I found you in 2016, and in 2017 I did a Whole30. I did my first Whole30, and that could have been how I found you, somebody from that community possibly.
Right.
That was September of 2016. Lost like 2 pounds. Was really frustrated. It was like giving up basically, which is why I started pursuing a gastric bypass. And then in March of 2017, I went to Disneyland. I did that at 300 pounds. That was horrible, but the kids liked it. And then I committed. It's funny because my anniversary is April Fool's Day of 2017. And every year I try to do a, like facelift Friday or anniversary photo comparison, and that's when I started, and I lost so much weight. Like I had a surgery date that was about 6 weeks out, and I lost so much weight that I called and was like, hang on, this is working. Like put the brakes on cutting a piece of my body out. I would like to do this naturally.
Oh my God. What did they say?
They were surprised, and they were like, well, how much weight are you losing? And what are you doing? And well, what about your cholesterol? Because they had me on Lipitor. I look back, I wish I had the numbers, but I look back and I regret ever taking that, of course. But
I love that you're losing weight and getting healthy, but they're worried about your cholesterol.
Yeah. Well, how much red meat? Well, have you had any salmon?
And the crazy thing is, once people get their A1Cs down, to a healthy level and doctors take them off of Lipitor and metformin and Ozempic and all of it, then they end up losing more weight because those drugs are actually stopping you from losing weight. And I've heard that is such a catch-22 for people who are morbidly obese and have, you know, the type 2 diabetes. Well, pretty much they go hand in hand, but I'm trying to get their A1Cs down. That's why I tell people at the beginning, just eat all the fat you want. Just cut sugar out. I don't care if you put anything in your mouth, put fat in your mouth, because I can get your A1Cs low enough that the doctor will go, oh, I could take them off these drugs now. Some of these doctors will say, oh, look how well the drugs are working. You can't go off of them, which is
oh, I'm laughing because it's
insanity. It's insanity. So, because I've helped thousands of people get off of these drugs now, and I sounded like a dickhead when I said that, but I didn't mean it that way. What I'm saying is, you know, I've done
tens of hundreds of people.
Well, yeah, but it sounds, but I've helped all these people.
But
and
it's true.
The drugs, and the doctors are like, oh, wait, you're not supposed to, once you have type 2 diabetes, I've never seen it reversed before. Ta-da.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So.
And they don't sound like a very good doctor if they've never seen it reversed.
Nicole, where are you now with all of your stuff? Because I know we're going to do a little mini consult here. Tell me what's going on.
So it's, I weigh now 180-ish pounds. I fluctuate a couple pounds.
Amazing.
I've gotten down to 175. Yeah. I, like I said, I feel like
That's
some days I
incredible.
get down on myself. I'm like, oh, I'm where most people start. And then other days I'm
That's
like,
not true.
I've had so much mass on my body before that I feel really good at the weight I'm at.
You've lost an entire other person off of your person.
Yeah.
That's
130
incredible.
pounds. Like,
it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I do feel good about that. I would love to lose a little more, which is why I kind of reached out.
You literally lost a supermodel.
Yeah.
True. That's why I look like this.
Yeah, baby.
All right. So 180, you're struggling, you're right around. So take me through, and this is the part where I tell everyone, the more honest you can be with yourself, the more I can help you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm going to sit here and think the way your liver thinks. I'm going to become your liver. I need to know what you're throwing at me.
All right.
Okay. So I want you to start with, I wake up in the morning and let me warn you, no warning. I don't give a flip what you ate today. I need to know in general.
Okay.
In general, what happens. Not today I ate. Is that what you generally eat? Go.
Okay. It starts with anywhere from 3 to 8 cups of coffee.
Okay, stop. What time do you get up?
I wake up at 6:30.
Okay. Coffee starts immediately? You go downstairs?
Pretty much.
Okay. All right. So between 3 and 8 cups, can we peg it right at 5 to be an average?
Sure. That sounds good.
What do we put in the coffee?
Between 1 and 2 tablespoons of heavy cream.
In each cup?
Yes.
Okay. No, I need to know. I'm thinking like your liver. So, all right. So each cup all right. So how big is the cup? Is it
it's a mug. So 12 ounces probably.
All right. So 12 ounces. Does your coffee look more like Beyonce or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson after a day at the beach?
Beyonce.
Okay, good. And you have on average 5 Beyoncés.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. That starts at 6:30 in the morning and that goes all morning?
Till 9 or so.
Okay, good. She drinks more coffee than me.
I know, me too.
That's a problem.
That's very difficult to do. But I spread mine out. I'm still drinking coffee here tonight. I mean, it's nighttime.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I'll probably go until 9 o'clock drinking coffee. Is how I stay away from booze. Okay. Anything else in the morning? What else are we doing?
Generally, no. I've never been a good eater in the morning. And when you said breakfast does not have to be the most important meal of the day, I was done. Sign me up.
Okay, good. So what goes into your mouth next?
Usually lunch, and 5 days a week that's at work. So it's right at 12, and it's usually some type of leftover dinner that is, I only cook NSNG compliant, but I definitely include dairy in most of my cooking.
Give me one example of a common lunch.
Okay. I'll do a lot of taco salads, or if it's like more of a hot meal, I'll do butter chicken sometimes.
All right. Talk to me about the taco salad. What do you do? Tell me all about it.
So I cook the meat. I use Anna's taco seasoning recipe.
Oh, that's crap. Okay.
Yeah, love
All
that.
right.
I should give it away as gifts, but I should buy Anna's.
No, you can make your own. You don't have to buy mine.
Okay. And then that usually has lettuce, tomato, sour cream, lime, cilantro, tomato, olives. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Any guacamole in there?
I have never been a fan, and I've tried to like it sometimes, like half the time, some avocado.
Okay. All right. So you have that.
Mhm.
You put any salsa on there or anything like that?
Not usually, because I have the tomatoes in it.
So you make that fresh from home?
Yep.
Okay. Then what?
Then comes dinner at usually around 6-ish.
Where do you work? What do you do for work?
So right now I teach other people how to get jobs. I'm a workforce instructor.
Okay. Any afternoon, a handful of nuts, this kind of thing?
Sometimes, not very often at all.
But
I'm not big on snacks. I'm in the classroom most hours of the day. If I do anything, actually, sometimes I just want coffee again.
okay. So more coffee. Beyonce?
I love coffee for a snack.
Yes.
Beyonce
Sometimes
coffee?
all my coffee is Beyonce. So
okay. And then now we're at dinner?
yes.
You come home, have a snack, anything?
No.
Nothing.
No, I keep a Chomps in my desk at work.
Okay.
Just in case.
Yeah. How often do you go through the
Chomps?
It's a beef stick.
Oh.
It's compliant. How often are you having the Chomps?
I mean, maybe once a month. It's really not.
Okay. And then
I'm not big on
that you go into dinner. What happens?
Yes. If it goes the way I want it to go, that means I have a steak, and my family probably has steak, broccoli, and potato. And that's at least once a week, generally.
Okay. And then anything after that?
Sometimes on the weekends a coffee, but it affects my sleep if I have to work the next day. So
yeah.
Especially if I'm trying to stay away from dessert, or at a birthday party setting, I'll have coffee instead.
Okay. Give me another example of a lunch menu thing.
Okay.
Give me your top three. You gave me one. Give me two more.
Okay. So like a leftover pork chop, or if I don't make extra dinner, I will bring lunch meat and cheese.
Kind
and
of lunch
eat
meat?
Little like roll-ups. What
kind of lunch meat?
Pastrami, usually Columbus pastrami from Costco.
Okay. And cheese. And what else? Give me a third option.
That'll be it. Oh, the third option. So leftover pork chops I've been doing a lot of lately, or like a chicken tender or meatballs.
Tell me about the chicken tenders.
I don't do that a lot because I don't find chicken what I love to eat, but if I do, it'll be like a stir fry with broccoli or some other veg. Never corn. I stick away from like the higher carb stuff.
Are you making that yourself?
Yes.
Okay. So you know everything that's going in it?
Yes.
Alcohol?
None, actually.
Okay. Okay. Exercise? Anything?
No.
None.
None.
Any time for it?
Maybe at the first of the year, I started doing about 20 minutes in the evenings of like this video game that you exercise with. And then we caught a cold and I stopped doing it. And I'm trying to get back to that. On top of working full time and 2 kids, I homeschool my kids and I go to school in the evenings.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. How tall are you?
5'5", 5'5.5". I've been told 5'6" and 5'5" professionally.
So 140, you would be happy, right?
Oh gosh. Yes.
40, 45, 45. pounds off. So here's what I'm seeing. You lost to 120, you know this works, right?
Mhm.
And now you're stuck teetering with 5 pounds, which means you're not teetering at all, because on any given day, you know, you're a young woman, you're still having a cycle and everything else, you know,
Mhm.
fluctuations and water and everything else. You're not gaining weight.
Right.
That's the first thing I look at. You're stuck at a weight. You're not gaining. When people say plateau, it means they start moving in the opposite direction because they're doing too many things wrong. You're not doing too many things wrong. Your problem is probably dairy. Some people have trouble with dairy.
Yeah.
And
Oh, hey, girl.
if you're having,
and it's also the hardest thing to give up after you've given up so much stuff.
right.
But it
I
works
told my
when you
friends
do.
I'm going to come on here and Vinny's going to tell me you got 80%. You got to work out to get the last 20% and stop eating dairy, which is why I'd never done a consult.
And look, by the way, I walk on stage and the first words out of my mouth is exercise is a poor way to lose weight. And
Yeah.
I will die saying that, but eating right, eating spot on, and exercise now magnifies what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
12 ounces of coffee to get it to look like Beyonce means there's too much cream in it. So your body is living on the fat. You're living on, you see, the reason I was just talking about this, the reason I tell people right before you came on, the reason I tell people to eat all the fat you want at first, all the fat you want, because maybe I was saying it to you. I want to get the A1Cs down first. We need to control that.
Mhm.
Now, this is not calorie restriction. Do not make that mistake. But I'm thinking in the morning, maybe the first, you know, my first cup always has a little cream in it because Serena brings it up to we have our first cup in bed in the morning. And that's the only one that has cream in it the whole day. I have cream once a day. And the rest of them are black. Right. So you need to do something like that. Maybe incorporate some eggs. Do you like eggs? I know
I do
they're
like eggs.
super expensive right now, but once that avian flu is over with and everything, it's the eggs are going to come back down. The prices are going to come back down.
Oh my God. Somebody sent me an article about people smuggling eggs from Mexico. I was like, just get chickens and put them in your yard.
Yeah. If you're going to smuggle eggs from Mexico, just go buy yourself some chickens. So, you know, having a hard boiled egg in the morning or two or fried or whatever you want to do with them. I say hard boiled because you got 2 kids and you work. And I always hear the same thing from parents. Oh, you don't understand. I don't have time. When you're making dinner the night before, you can boil a couple of eggs and they'll be sitting on the counter the next morning. Works just fine, right? It takes less time than making even cereal and milk, right? So something like that, where you're putting some protein and some good fat in your body, you're pulling back on the dairy a bit, right? Those little changes are going to equal up to a lot because, like I said, you're not gaining weight, but now you're living on the fat you're taking in. You need to just lower that and get more nutrient dense food in you. Eggs, protein. I'm not saying cut fat out by any stretch. As a matter of fact, I've had people do a thing where they don't want to eat eggs in the morning. I'll say, instead of the dairy, put a teaspoon of coconut oil in your mouth. Break your fast that way. And then your body will start using its own fat to get you through the morning. There's different ways to skin that same cat. Go on, Anna.
And by the way, if you really are trying to cut back on the dairy and the heavy cream, because some people can still have dairy and still have the heavy cream, I cannot. So one trick I've learned is to take the black coffee and the teaspoon of coconut oil as the coffee's being poured in, remove the spoon, and you can use one of those little $15 whizzies that whizzies that you know what I mean? You press the top and it's a little like immersion blender, but it's tiny just for drinks. And I whisk the coconut oil into the coffee that way. And then if it still tastes bitter, put salt in it. It's the weirdest thing.
Just a little pinch.
A little pinch of salt. It tastes so good. It's so weird.
It becomes chocolate milk.
It's really good. But the coconut oil replaces what the heavy cream was doing. Don't get me wrong. Nothing tastes like heavy cream in coffee. Like that is like the elixir of the gods. I get it. But that is a good substitute that will help you feel those feelings in a good way.
Okay.
And look, exercise doesn't mean you have to go put on a Jane Fonda leotard and scrunchy
Oh, I think
socks.
it does. No, I think it does.
No, it used to. It's not the 80s anymore, Anna.
Okay.
Although I will
Whatever.
be watching Flashdance tonight. Why not? What's tonight, Thursday? Flashdance.
It's Thursday Flashdance.
So,
What a feeling.
so that's the way I would work it. And I think, and look, just go do what you got. You know, just figure out some kind of. It's not that hard to figure out how to move. I get it. You got kids and everything. I get it.
I do like the little steps. Like I walk up the stairs every day at work instead of the elevator, but we're only on the second floor, so it doesn't feel like it's that big of a deal.
Right.
But there are people that take the elevator, so.
Right. No, I get it. I get it. But the more things you can do, the better. On the weekends, you know, do you work on the weekends?
No, thank goodness. Just homework.
Take your kids. You're homeschooling them. You can give them a break. Just take them out. Hey, you know, part of homeschooling, you should be doing PE class. Do it on the weekend. Get them out there. I don't care if you're throwing a Frisbee with them. I don't care what you're doing. Get them out. Get them moving. Get them hiking. Get them, I don't know, what are they into? How old are your kids?
12 and 7. And I'm more into hiking than them. They usually complain about that, but
it's boring to kids.
I know. We live in Northern California and there's just so many beautiful waterfall hikes.
So many things to see.
Yeah, they're really, I love it. I love where you are. It's beautiful.
Yeah, we're far, far north, not like central north, like we're Redding area.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
You're way above Davis and all that area. That's all central. Yeah, I know where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different world up there.
It really, really is. People don't like, I have 2 lakes. I have the mountains 10 minutes, beach 3 hours. Like it's great, but so we really have tons of options.
You're probably like 2 hours away from like Ashland and all that up in Oregon, right?
Right in between. Yep.
Yeah, I know where you are. See, I know that area. I know it well. So go use it. I get it. Kids aren't into that. Find out what they're into. Figure it out. Just keep throwing stuff at them because it's important that they see mommy doing it. You know, they say some of it is taught, some of it is caught. You know, just go out there and do stuff. Get it done. Get her done.
Yeah, you hear that where we live.
Yeah. A lot of F-150s where you are.
Oh gosh, you know, I live in this tiny town and I feel like people are going to run right over the top of me all the time because I drive a Honda Civic.
Oh yeah, they got cars. It looks like Sunday with these monster trucks out there.
Sunday.
Sunday. Come out, see it. At any rate, any questions?
The only thing that popped in my head is I don't love hard-boiled eggs, but what about 2 pieces of bacon? I can always have bacon.
Yeah, bacon is good. And I meant to tell you, stay away from the Columbia meat.
Okay.
Try to get more ground beef. You know, I do a different way. Sometimes I'll do Anna's, with the Mexican. Sometimes I'll do Anna's with the barbecue. Sometimes I'll just put salt and pepper. Sometimes most people won't do this. I'll put salt, black pepper, and cayenne pepper in my ground beef. I'm a Cajun. It's what we do.
I watched your Instagram the other day. I was like, that would actually kill me.
What did I have on?
You just put a bunch of cayenne pepper on top of whatever you were cooking, or I think your wife was cooking it.
No, she's cooking it. She doesn't touch the cayenne. I'm the cayenne guy. Yeah, she doesn't mess with the cayenne. Oh, I think I did one and I forgot to send it to Megan.
Make it happen.
Oh,
the night is young.
I think I did some eggs.
Nicole, join me in doing no dairy February. I made that up last year and I only lasted 5 days. So this year I'm determined to last longer.
Okay.
No dairy February. It's hard because that to me was harder to get off of than sugar and grains. It was easier this time. In fact, last night I made in my second cookbook spaghetti squash with sausage, leek, and sage sauce, and it uses a can of full fat coconut cream. And the coconut, by the way, whenever I bring up coconut stuff, I want to give a disclaimer. I hate the smell and taste of coconut. I hate it.
Really?
It grosses me out. I don't like coconut cake. I don't like coconut candies. I don't like the mounds or the almonds joy. Almond joy. I don't like
German
it.
Chocolate cake? Nothing?
Nope. No, thank you.
I'm on the same page.
I buy the refined coconut oil because it take the smell out, and they're probably going to find out that it causes something horrible, but I don't care because I don't care. And also the cans of coconut milk I use in place of heavy cream in recipes like chicken tikka masala, like that recipe I just mentioned, things like that to make things creamy. The coconut smell cooks off. It won't be in there. It's kind of like when people are like the cauliflower smells like farts. I'm like, yeah, but by the time you're done cooking it, it tastes amazing. So relax.
By the time you cover it in cheese.
Yeah, but we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Right. That's I am Italian. I might have a Russian last name, but I'm Italian, just like you two. My maiden name was Musso. Yes.
Oh wow! I knew a lot of Mussos growing up.
Yeah,
they're lousy in down in Louisiana. There's a lot of Mussos. Hang with us.
Mouthy in Northern California too.
We want to say goodbye to you off the air, folks. If you like what's going on here, if you like people like Miss Nicole, Miss Anna Vocino, if you like these women. You know what to do. We all go shopping on Amazon. Before you go to Amazon, go to VinnieTortorich.com, click through the banner. It puts a little coal on the fire, gets my train down the track. Anna Vocino's got a lot going on, and I do mean a lot. She's got Eat Happy Kitchen. She's got 3 powders over there. I use 2.5 of them on a daily basis.
Can I give you some bad news?
No, please.
We're sold out of the barbecue right now.
Thank God I'm good for at least a month.
I sent you probably a month or two, maybe a month after this comes out.
All right. I need to start rationing.
You do. I told you that because you need to start rationing. But we have dill and taco, and we have plenty of sauce in stock.
So go check out everything at Eat Happy Kitchen. And if you don't know how to cook or you need some recipe ideas, go get Eat Happy and Eat Happy 2, the cookbooks. Go check it all out. Can we give you any kind of plug over there? If you want someone to teach your kids stuff,
if you
don't call me.
Yeah, if you need to send your kids to somebody to homeschool them, send them to Nicole.
Nicole Maslow will, teach them something. And so no, please don't send them to Nicole. She doesn't want to deal with your kids.
She's got enough children right now.
Yeah, she doesn't want to deal with her own. So there you have it. We have the Superfan page, the Nickel and Diamond Me PDF, also known as the NSNG ebook. Everyone seems to like that. Let me cut this off so we can party down over here.